Thanks for staying with us, everyone. The Director General of the BorderCommunities Development Agency, Dr. Dakorinama George, has pledged to provide essential boreholes and healthcare facilities to border communities in Ogun State. Dr. George's commitment is a response to a report highlighting the lack of clean water and healthcare services many border areas are faced with. The BorderCommunities Development Agency is a federal government agency established by the National Assembly to deliver socio-economic infrastructure to all border communities across Nigeria. And President Tinubu last month approved the appointment of Dr. Dakorinima George, who is the Director General of the agency. Well, he's lined up to join me on the show this evening. All attention on border areas, particularly for those of you who live within, in communities in the Lagos, Ogun border towns. You can tell that development gets there late. The roads are bad, there's no light, not good water. And perhaps the only time I saw them, putting some tar on the road in that area was before the 2023 general election. And that's when politicians remember that people actually do live in that area. For Lagos and Ogun border towns, the challenge has been these people live in Ogun, but work in Lagos, who gets their tax, and that conversation has been on for years. But we're finding out now that there's an agency of government that actually has the responsibility of, reaching out to individuals living and doing business in border areas. And we want to find out really what they intend to do differently this time. A report that's showing on your screen shows some particular communities in Ogun State where the living condition is poor and people literally drinking dirty water in a community that has government, but with no presence, no developmental presence at all in those areas. I'm joined by the Director General of the BorderCommunities Development Agency, Dr. Dakorinama George, who's live in our Abuja studio. Thank you for joining us on the program this evening. We following the story very closely. The border communities are some of the most problematic areas in terms of development and government presence in Nigeria. Following your appointment, some have even expressed shock that there's a dedicated government agency saddled with this responsibility. What are your findings, or what findings are you making as regards the development deficit in these areas?
Actually, there's a lot of development deficit in the over 3,000 border communities we have in Nigeria. And these communities are located at the fringes of the country. They're like the gateways to the country, and therefore, in terms of security, they are very key and very important to our country. Access to some of these communities is very, very difficult. Getting basic social amenities is also very difficult. Getting basic health care, schools, just potable drinking water, just to mention a few, is very, 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 very difficult, They are distant from the center in their various states.
And they're also most times neglected by their state government. We were told that you dispatched a team of engineers to assess the lack of clean water and poor health facilities in some communities in Ogun State. What more have you found out about what's happening there, particularly following that report?
Yes, about a week ago we got a passionate plea, an urgent request from the Asa community. And so we had to intervene very, very, very speedily. In fact, it was a weekend when I sent my men to go there to Asa communities and some other neighboring communities like Agbele, Agbelepon, Ibore, Lafenwa. They're all in Yewa North local government area of Ogun State to actually ascertain what has happened. Because I was told that the report that came to us was that they were losing persons in dozens. In fact, persons were dying, by the day in those communities. And we did our findings only to find out that the persons were dying because of cholera outbreak. And so we began to try to investigate what could have been the cause of the cholera outbreak. We're reliably informed that there is no potable water in Asa community and all those other border communities like Agbele, Agbelepun, Ibore, and Lafenwa. And so they have to depend on neighboring communities in Benin Republic to get water. Meanwhile, from Asa community to Owode community in Benin Republic is between 5 to 7 kilometers. And they depend on pond water. For them to be able to get clean water, they have to go to Owode community, which is across the border, and that is about 5 or 6 kilometers. Imagine somebody with a 20-liter jerry can going 5 or 6 kilometers and coming back 5 or 6 kilometers just to get maybe 10 or 20 liters of water that they'll drink for some few days. And then there's also insecurity across the bush part, because we also reliably informed that sometime in June 2021, Mr. David Adonisi lost his first son, Solomon, to attackers. I don't know what kind of attackers. His first son was killed while going to fetch water from the Owode community.
Allow me to jump in because of time. There's no doubt that strengthening border security is crucial to curbing insurgency, and that we must do more to secure this community if we're serious about changing our security landscape. But we're running out of time. You have now promised essential boreholes as well as healthcare facilities to these communities. What precisely is the timeline for the delivery of these promises? How soon can help reach these people?
Yes, I would say this came like an emergency, but irrespective of budgetary constraints, we had to think outside the box to come up with a very speedy solution. And as I speak, we've just mobilized a contractor to go down there and sink a borehole for them. We've done our geophysical analysis, and we just found out that going down about 360 feet is going to give us a prolific aquifer, free of bacteria, free of iron, and free of silt. And so we are moving in a drilling rig to give them what I would call a sustainable solution, something that can be sustained over time. And it has to be powered by solar power, so that there will be no cost of maintenance, there will be no operational cost. That's what we intend to do in the short run. Then the long run, we're going to fix it in our 2025 budget, and also other projects that we need, like access to basic health care, access to schools, agricultural inputs, and those basic things that we know we can do for them very speedily within the short and medium term, because we need their loyalty. We don't want to lose the loyalty of these border community dwellers to our neighboring countries.
So this short-term intervention is coming in a matter of weeks or months?
I will tell you, go there in 21 days, we'll be ready.
Fantastic. So we can hold you
ready for commissioning in 21 days.
We'll definitely call you back. Yes, we'll call you back in 21 days. Dr. Dakorinama Alabu-George is the Director General of the Border Community Development
Agency.
Thank you so much for joining us on Beyond 100 Days.
Thank you for having me.
That's our show today, everyone. Thanks for being a part of it. You can watch it again at midnight and at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I am Nifemi Oguntoye.